NVIDIA, AMD, and AI stock investors got a lot of great bullish news today. And I want to say, with the type of topics that we're going to discuss today, it really does seem like AI technology and AI investments are going to make investors pretty rich. Let me take a closer look in today's episode.
I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video, and check out fool.com/Jose for the 10 best stocks to buy now. With that link, you get a promotional offer for the subscription service. Now, let's continue with today's episode.
Obviously, if you follow this channel, you guys know that NVIDIA is my biggest position. So when I talk about things like AI investments, it seems like I'm always in the scenario of NVIDIA, but if you are an AI investor, all the news that we're going to see today is going to trickle down to a lot of companies. We're going to see that some of these companies have, for example, partnerships with AMD. Companies that we're going to see have partnerships with creating their own ASIC or custom chips, which could be bullish for companies like Broadcom or Marvell. We're going to see massive investments in data centers and kind of AI infrastructure. There's a lot of companies that deal with the renting, with the compute, with the cloud, with the power infrastructure, with the cooling infrastructure, that it could be seen bullish for a lot of companies. So always keep that in mind. While I do kind of discuss it in an NVIDIA point of view, it should be looked at in a more overall AI market point of view. So the first thing I want to show is Elon Musk today tweeted the following: 230,000 GPUs, including 30,000 GB200s, are operational for training Grok XAI in a single supercluster called Colossus One. Inference is done by their cloud providers. I actually did not know that. So all of this is done by training, but they do have inference by their cloud providers. I would love to see who their cloud providers are. Now they mention at Colossus 2, the first batch of 550,000 GB200s and GB300s, also for training, start going online in a few weeks. So all these are just for training. I'm gonna wonder if maybe eventually kind of Colossus 1 becomes more of like an inference machine and Colossus 2 becomes kind of a training machine. But overall, as Jensen Huang has stated, XAI is unmatched in speed and it's not even close. Then there was another comment here by Elon Musk. I have to find it really quickly. The XAI goal is 50 million in units of H100 equivalents AI compute, but much better power efficiency online within 5 years. So that's pretty insane. So the first thing we're hearing from Elon Musk is and XAI is you're seeing massive investments on AI compute, right? I mean, right here, you're already seeing a lot of GB200s and GB300s. This is another confirmation as well that NVIDIA's GB300s are shipping in a nice volume production already. So that can be seen as a bullish case there. Now, what kind of got me a little bit annoyed is I am seeing a lot of big fin Twitters kind of doing the following. People are taking this goal, the XAI goal of 50 million units in H100 out of context. I've seen someone multiply the H100 price times 50 million, assuming that XAI will get some trillions and trillions of dollars. I've also seen someone multiply the power of H100s times 50 million and assuming that's the power draw will be. But the H100 equivalent is now simply just a benchmark, right? It's a unit of measurement in terms of performance. And it's important to remember technology gets better, meaning performance increases. Therefore, you need fewer chips. So for example, the B200, that's about 2 to 3 times better than the H100. So we're already cutting that by about half percentage, maybe even a little bit more. So even 25 million chips. Now we're going to go into the next generation in the future, the Rubin, right? Then the Rubin Ultra, then the one after that, and all that. You're going to see less and less chips needed to get that 50 million equivalent. So you don't need trillions of dollars. XAI doesn't need trillions of dollars to build this. They also don't need 10 or 11 suns to power it. So it's important to remember that I am very bullish in the AI market, but I think that crazy bullishness, which lacks common sense, is something that is bad as an AI investment thesis. However, what is true from the following is that the demand for AI compute is not slowing down and power constraints are a bottleneck. So that is true. So that's the first kind of very bullish news. And again, XAI, we have heard that most of these are going to be NVIDIA AI chips, but they do have some partnerships with companies like AMD. They're also most likely working on their own ASIC solution or some form of ASIC processor, being an AI accelerator or a CPU. And the kind of infrastructure that is needed to build all that can trickle down to maybe like your Vertiv, whatever type of utility company you see, and so on. It could even trickle down to Tesla, as Tesla does kind of give them kind of that those battery wall banks to help kind of stabilize a lot of the voltages that these GPUs see when you're kind of working them all together. So a lot of players can be winners here. And the main thesis behind this is we are seeing from Elon Musk and XAI that the demand for AI compute continues to grow and whatever follows there. Now, earlier today, we also got some other interesting news. OpenAI, with their Stargate, advances with 4.5 gigawatt partnership with Oracle. So Oracle and OpenAI have entered an agreement to develop 4.5 gigawatts of additional Stargate data center capacity in the United States. Together with their Stargate Site 1 in Texas, this additional partnership with Oracle will bring them over 5 gigawatts of Stargate AI data center capacity under development, which will run over 2 million chips. Again, another crazy number of AI chips. And again, OpenAI, Stargate, and Oracle use mainly NVIDIA, but there is the opportunity for some AMD play and for some ASIC plays here. So again, we're seeing the same thing. Massive AI infrastructure being built out, massive need for AI chips, massive need for the infrastructure being the power, the utilities, the servers, the cooling, and whatnot. So again, another bullish scenario happening here. I did find something interesting in this. So the within this article, they mentioned that meanwhile, construction of Stargate 1 in Texas is progressing and parts of the facilities are now up and running. Oracle began delivering the first NVIDIA GB200 racks last month, and we recently began running earlier training and inference workloads. Complementing this expansion with Oracle, our partnership with SoftBank is moving forward with strong momentum. And they mentioned Stargate is OpenAI's overarching AI infrastructure platform, encompassing ongoing data center partnerships with Oracle, SoftBank, and CoreWeave. The final thing is pretty interesting. Microsoft will continue to provide cloud services for OpenAI, including through Stargate. This is one of the first few times that I've seen Microsoft be announced as a form of somewhat useful player in the Stargate platform. So I wonder if Microsoft is regretting some of the choices it's made and it wants to kind of get back in here and start to provide a lot more solutions and kind of work with this AI growth. But that was interesting. Would love to hear your thoughts on the comments. Also, before we go any further, I know I should have done this earlier in the video, but if you are enjoying it, make sure to hit the thumbs up, make sure to hit the subscribe button, check out the pinned comment for special offer at fool.com/Jose, fiscal.ai/Jose. 15% off there. That is the platform I use on a daily basis. If you're serious about investing, make sure to check out fiscal.ai/Jose. I use it. A great promotion down below. The final thing is I do have a free newsletter, completely free about the semiconductor market. Make sure to check that out, especially as earnings are coming around. There's some earnings I don't cover here in videos that you will see there. Now, the final topic I want to talk about is Air Test System. So Air Test System today was up roughly 22%. This is a stock we've covered numerous times in this channel, not as on a daily basis, but definitely on a quarterly basis at least once. The company recently reported earnings, and we actually even looked at this stock when the kind of stock crashed on earnings, and it dropped to about $13. I believe this was the time frame right here, around $13. And I kind of discussed that there is a lot of bullish scenarios behind Air Test System. Well, today, it's not only a mean movement, the company actually has some announcements. Today, it announced that it has received follow-on orders from its lead production artificial intelligence processor customer for package part burn-in for 8 Sonoma ultra high power systems to be used for volume production test and burn-in of their AI processors. So first, they provide kind of like this burn-in test equipment that you kind of use to stress test AI chips. They mentioned that the one customer that they have right now, and they're expanding into multiple customers, so it's a growth opportunity. This one customer They already did a few purchases. Now they're increasing their purchase orders to even more. So it does showcase that there is some strength here. And I believe the market, what is more excited is if one customer is willing to do this, why can't other customers come in and try it out as well? They mentioned that this customer is a world leading hyperscaler delivering compute power and storage capacity to millions of individuals and organizations worldwide. This customer is one of the premier large scale data center hyperscalers and is developing its own AI processors and significantly expanding its capacity. There's only 2 or 3 players that I could say are within this landscape. In my opinion, it could be Amazon. Maybe it's not, but I don't know why. I have a feeling it's Amazon. Maybe Google knows a better answer, but based on the way they're describing it, could be Amazon. Maybe it could be Broadcom. So those are the 2 big premier large-scale data center hyperscalers that are designing their own ASIC chip. Maybe it could also be Microsoft, as we did see some issues there, but it has to be one of those big boys because they keep really kind of trying to name the customer without naming the customer. Regardless, you are seeing continued investment in the AI market, which continues to solidify this theory that the AI market, while it's not going to always be perfect, right? It's not always going to go up in a straight line. There are going to be cycles, and that's something to be familiar with. Cycles in the semiconductor and the tech market are real, but what we're seeing right now is that this demand for AI compute is going to continue. Again, maybe not in a straight line, but there is going to be a nice amount of demand as we continue to see more people adopting AI, as we continue to AI to become more complex, as we continue to see AI innovating into new markets as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Take care, have a good day, and see you all next time.